right after 9/11.
Yeah.
I did the very first game back in Philadelphia, the Braves and Phillies, and then I would do the Mets and the Braves, and then I did the first Yankee game back. So it was.
What a week.
Oh, it was as impactful as I've ever gone through. I think with the 9/17 was the first game back in Philly. We were in Bristol, and I was going to either drive to Philadelphia or take the train down. So I'm on was it 95? And at some point, I'm going to make a decision. I'm either going to get off the highway and take the train down or drive down. So I'm just going to take the train. Again, how do you prepare yourself for the first game back after a 9/11? So I got on the train, and I'll never forget going through the tunnel and then heading south to Philly. And off to the left was where the Twin Towers once stood. And the smoke was still billowing out in those iconic pictures of the foundation. And being back in New York last week and passing now the New World Trade Center, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. But that night in Philadelphia, got in the afternoon, and I was sitting with Scott Rowland. And like many of us, he had no idea, should we be here? Is this the time? Well, Larry Boa, I mean, a lot of, these were just guys, human beings, not baseball players.
Sure.
So what happens? Prior to the game, I'm having dinner with Skip Carey and Harry Callis. And we're talking, fellas, what do we do? And Harry said, well, you just tell them what you see because we ain't been through this before. And it was wonderful advice. In the first couple of innings, players, fans, not knowing what to do. And then, God bless him, fourth inning, Chipper Jones steps into the batter's box, and they're booing the hell out of him.
So we're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. And now here's Scott Rowland, who an hour or two earlier said, I don't know if I should be here or not. He hits 2 home runs. He's the game-winning hero.
Unbelievable.
And then fast forward a few days later, we go to Shea Stadium, which, of course, was all the supplies going to Ground Zero were in the parking lot there. And
Yeah, it was a staging area.
Yeah.
Shea Stadium.
And then the Piazza home run was unbelievable.
That truly was an unbelievable sports moment. And I understand that as Bobby V said in the last hour, Charlie, that, the Braves were not a willing participant.
Right.
They were sort of the Washington Generals, for the lack of a better
was
phrase,
okay
in that moment for Piazza's home run.
And then in the first game back at Yankee Stadium, maybe the most poignant moment I remember best was in the dugout an hour before the game, and you have the police and firemen all in their dress uniforms, and they're going to go out and be acknowledged. And I remember 2 men in uniform, a policeman whose name I did not know, and Lee Mazzilli. And Lee Mazzilli was offering condolences and a hug to the cop instead of the other way around. And it was that, of all the stuff that we went through in that week or 10 days, was maybe the most memorable. Maz and this police officer, and we were all New Yorkers, and it was a moment. Sorry to bring this conversation down, but it was one of those.
I wanted to ask you about it because I just brought it up. Well, that's one of the many reasons why I love having you on, Charlie. I have no idea where the interview is going to go because of the experiences that you've had in your career.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.